We are live. We're live. Let me see who is here. Can you click like, make a comment? DRYPHT is online. I want to take questions, answers. If there's anything bothering you about your study permits, you have access to me now. Maybe you have questions about your letter of explanations, supporting documents you were refused, or you showed more than enough funds and you were still refused. You want me to answer? I'll give you answers right now. But just while I wait for your questions, I want to talk about something very disturbing recently. I've been having questions about Empower loans. People have been asking, I've seen a lot of rejections concerning people who use Empower, and they've been rejected for their proof of funds. Now, the thing is, a lot of people have gotten access to visa via Empower, but right now, I feel that the visa officers, especially from people of applicants from Ghana and Nigeria, they've overused it. And so I feel the visa officers will say, if you really have funds, why go for loans? And the loans that they go for is even more than what they have in their accounts. So I would say if you want to go for an Empower loan, don't go, it should be for young applicants. Young applicants can go for a loan. Having their father as his support, their father will show his documents and how he's going to pay the loan, show an amortization of how he's going to pay the loan, but not somebody that is married, has a family. A family that's applying to go to Canada should not use Empower loans, right? How many of you know about Empower? You can read about it. I'm not doing a PR for them. I'm not doing adverts for them, but I found out that most people have been using Empower loans. So if you're a prospective student from Ghana or Nigeria, I would say that you avoid it. Is that okay? You avoid using Empower loans. Okay, I can see you doing this. So if you're here, just like, you can drop your questions now. I'm going to answer you. You can drop your questions. I will answer you. And even if I go off live, you can also comment and drop questions. I will still respond to it. So if you want to apply and you are a family, please don't go for Empower loan. And if you have another option, you can just desist from it. Is that okay? You can desist from using that option. Or if you are going to use it, you apply for it and have substantial amount in your own account. It should not constitute the major source of your proof of funds. Then another issue as regards proof of funds that I want to address is regards people who have had scholarships. A lot of people who have scholarship do not show, even if the scholarships cover for your living expenses, you just have to still show money in your account. Recently, one of my subscribers reached out to me that she got a scholarship of 70,000 Canadian dollars. 70, thank you, Dunamis. 70,000 Canadian dollars, and she was rejected. A MasterCard scholarship of 70,000 Canadian dollars, and she was still not given visa. This is because, and guess what? MasterCard paid for her visa application, gave her accommodation, paid for her flight fee, and the worth of the scholarship is 70,000 Canadian dollars. She was rejected. Go and look at my videos. There's a video I made about one of my students who is currently in the University of Winnipeg. She got a scholarship of 25,000 Canadian dollars, and her entire school fees was 34,000. She paid an extra 5,000 and used her uncle for sponsorship for the remaining 4,000. And she was still denied because the money was not adequate. She did not cover up for her living expenses. It's very important that you, irrespective of the scholarship that you have, whether it covers your tuition expenses and your living expenses, still show at least an amount in your personal account for your living expenses. That's one thing you should know. So for the young ones or mature people, also one of my subscribers from Ghana reached out to me. She got a scholarship of 28,000 Canadian dollars, and her school fees, no, 27,000 Canadian dollars, with also an extra 8,000 Canadian dollars, which will be paid to her as graduate student assistantship role, which she would get on going to Canada when she's in Canada. But she showed different accounts of her family members or friends to make up for her study, to make up for her living expenses. But she was still denied because it wasn't in her account. Even though her school fees was 20,000 Canadian dollars, it more than covers for her school fees, but there was not enough funds to make up for her living expenses. Is that okay? So I think this is my first live video. So people are not yet used to me going live. So if you are here, I can only see Dunamis. Who is the next person? Okay, thank you. So this is it. So I'll be doing more of live videos when I come up. I'll be doing more and more and more of live videos so that you can have access to me real time and know and I'll answer your questions. So when it comes to proof of funds, I've talked about Empower, I've talked about people who have had scholarships and how they need to show, irrespective of how much they've gotten, they need to still show proof of living expenses. I've talked about that, and all that. Then another thing I've also seen, for my rejection note, I got a GCMS note I got recently from one of my Ghanaian clients. The GCMS note stipulated that she used sponsorship. Most Ghanaians are using sponsorship. If you're a Ghanaian here, please try and avoid sponsorship. If you can show the money in your personal account, that'll be fine. So you know what she did? She used sponsorship from her uncle, but the uncle did not show how she was related to him. There was no proof that he had been sending money to her. So if you are using sponsorship, you must show that the person has been sending money to you. And then you must show the source of the person's funds, that the registration of his company, the certificates, the memorandum of article or memorandum of association showing that the person is a major stakeholder in the company that he has, which is a proof of his funds, right? And another thing you should note is that when somebody is sponsoring you, that person should have more than the amount, more than triple of the amount that they want to provide as sponsorship for you. So, okay, if you have gotten value, you can just like and subscribe and hit the notification button. Okay, I'll be back again tomorrow for another live session where I'm going to address very key and pertinent issues. Thank you.